Hey, Earthgod here, and it's time to talk about Bleach. And this episode is very important for a lot of world building and character development and reveals for Jushiro Ukitake. And I'm so happy with what we got here because I kept thinking when I first watched the series originally, I'm like, there has to be a way to heal him, right? What happened to him? When is that gonna happen? Why did he get sick in this world with death and spirits? How is he still sick and things like that? Those were all of the questions in my mind here, and having this episode even more from compared to the manga and everything hit me quite hard because of his relationship with Kyoraku. Also, just especially when they had that moment when they went against Yamamoto. From there, you can tell pretty much at the beginning of the series how much they care for each other and how good of friends they were here. And seeing the beginning of that and his story and how far he's willing to push himself. Ukitake, awesome character here. And then we have the beginning of Chair Sama with Sosuke Aizen. But anyway, let's get into the episode and talk about it. Now, picks up from last week. We know after that insanity of an episode we had here. This one is more cool down, but that's not to say it's not as important as previous one. Is not as action heavy at least. But Ukitake offers to take the place of the Soul Kings here, and see that black aura behind him happening with Mimihagi being released in a way. But before we get into that, let's have a conversation a bit about the flashback with him. See his parents, how they're praying to Mimihagi, which Mimihagi is kind of like a deity in some parts of the Soul Society there, and later on it's revealed that Mimihagi is the hand of the king governing over stillness, being the right hand. You can even see like you have the fist like this, so you guys can see it there, being the hand of the king, and having that ritual there. And hurt me a bit having his mother blaming herself too. I couldn't carry you healthy. I was just a mother thinking that to herself. It's insane how much parents can love their kids here, but in the end it sort of works because it didn't really heal him. Mimihagi shows itself to Ukitake. He's able to take its tears from the eye, drinks it, and he kind of becomes form of a mirror to Mimihagi. Kind of in a way takes some of it onto himself, but that didn't heal him. It just took over its lungs, so it stopped the disease. He still has the disease, but his lungs belong to Mimihagi right now, so the stillness aspect is able to stop the advancement of the disease. So that's why he was still coughing up blood, even though he was technically healed. It allowed him to live with the disease, not die from it. So this is what stillness does there, and I like that concept. But I'm really curious if there was a possibility for a cure at some point or something. But him doing this probably fated and seen before he was the key for this moment. Without him, everything would have been lost if he didn't do what he did here. But we're gonna get to that. And I have to say, the Grandma Oyon, she was so cool. The way she beat up that bully, and Okitake trying to warn him, hey, stop, don't do that. I don't care, I'm still gonna do it. No, I was trying to warn you, and he gets beaten up. And after that, Okitake asks him to join the Shinigami, and the way he controlled the conversation, they're just spinning his hand just to shake it and squeezing. Hey, I said we're gonna join, right? That was fun there. And while we had that flashback, Shunsui going to visit Aizen, and we're gonna get into the Aizen conversation here. But slowly we see how the relationship started between Ukitake and Shunsui Kyoraku, them having that training duel there, and kind of ending on a draw. And I like Ukitake saying, "You're not even gonna hold out against somebody sick." Nope, nope. And slowly, just bonding over those snacks with alcohol. Ukitake was curious about them, wanting to take them to the kids, but when he found out they were with alcohol, I really like the bond between them, how it slowly started to develop. They're becoming more and more friends, and even until Ukitake shared his secret with him, even though Kyorako started investigating, he started getting curious about what this Mimihagi is. Now, the left being advancement, the left hand or progress, depending how you wanna call it, and the right being stillness, the two hands of the king. We know he was cut off into pieces and used as the linchpin for the worlds here. And this is how close they got together, even being able to share this. And I'm so happy we're getting more backstory for characters here. This was very focused on Ukitake, but also showing Kyoraku's perspective a bit, you know. And Kyoraku is one of my favorite captains in the series here. And slowly you see after that how much Kayen's death affected Ukitake, him refusing to take a lieutenant, even saying, "Hey, what does it matter to you with the Central 46? And I fucking hate those guys, bureaucrats, assholes. In all of series, anime, and just all over the place, bureaucrats suck ass. The ones that they're in power and just standing in the safe offices." And the way he put it, what does it matter to you? You guys made the rules, so if I die, you can then replace me. It's that easy for you. So showing how he views life also. He knows he can die at any moment, but he cared so much for Kaien, he didn't think anybody could replace him. And Kaien was somebody very important to Rukia. And Rukia and Ukitake also are very important to each other, so he refused to have a new lieutenant. And I'm liking this. We even saw a bit of a funeral or last rites in a way for Yamamoto. There being Shunsui, Ukitake, and Unohana having that conversation. There, just something very small, but the acknowledgement he died, recognizing that. I'm looking at you, Gojo. But here with Yamamoto, that small moment there, I like how Kyoraku is always in a joke, kind of using humor as a defense mechanism, and after that you see him asking for a moment alone. And Yamamoto's somebody very important for everybody, not just being the head, the captain, commander there. He brought so many into the Soul Society, he took care of them, he was an inspiration, somebody they admire. Having lost somebody like that is crazy when you consider how much they live, like long lived there. And after the flashbacks, I've gotten a much bigger appreciation for Ukitake and Shunsui Kyoraku, to say the least here. But he finally, in the present, releases Mimihagi after the Kamikake ritual, offering his entire body to it, not just the lungs right now, to be able to manifest Mimihagi there. And he knew this moment was gonna come, even though Rukia, at first, she refused to acknowledge it, to be okay with what was happening, him telling her there are only two types of battle. And then we see from Shunsui Kyoraku sensing what was happening to his friend, battle to protect life and a battle to defend honor, two types of them. So yeah, Junsui, Joshiro, my bad, not Junsui, pretty much saved everybody here, because after the Soul King died, the worlds were collapsing. But this is not gonna last long, and as cold as it was from Soifon, I appreciate it, saying the quiet things in the back of your mind out loud. How long is this gonna last? Because sure, I feel for Ukitake, but this is just temporary, and somebody needed to voice that, as cold as it is. And she also cares for Ukitake, but sometimes you have to be blunt with things there. And I liked like they didn't even know what Mimihagi was, how it worked, anything there. So they're going into the dark with this one here. And meanwhile, we had Ichigo still fighting against Yuhabach. I like how Chad and Ganjo tried their best. Yoruichi even went for the fight, but they were quickly dispatched by Yuhabach. They wanted to let Orihime heal the Sword King. there was no way that was gonna, would have been way too dumb and way too simple for or him being able to somehow heal the Soul King instantly. That even though her powers are pretty broken, the way it works, it's too much for her to do this, to just bring back the Soul King, because why not there? But here we have Mimi Hagi extending itself to the palace, grabbing the Soul King and kind of holding together the worlds with the body of the Soul King, like this linchpin claw hand we have there. How long it's gonna last, we're gonna have to find out. And keep in mind, we still have the left hand. I'm not gonna, if you've read the manga, you probably know who and what the left hand is gonna do moving forward. But right now with Mimi Hagi and Ukitake's sacrifice, still more time to go against Yuha Bach and fix this situation. So what he did is insane, and I'm so happy for this episode here. But a key thing to pay attention for was the fact that Yuha Bach wasn't able to view this happening, like foreseeing it. He wasn't able here. So this is something outside of the Almighty with how it works, and I'm not gonna go into spoilers with that anymore. Here, if you know, there. But after this, we had the Aizen Shunsui Kyoraku conversation, and I like how Kyoraku's just there. I can only use 3 seals, one CLU to be able to talk. And the first one being the mouth, and even he was surprised that after 2 years, Aizen was able to talk instantly after that, like it didn't affect him and how he was moving. And then he removes the seal on the left eye and his ankles there, and apparently there was a big condition for Kyoraku to come here. He had to implant the key to the entire Muken prison in his heart, so if he dies, the prison seals itself for ever. Fuck Central 46. But if you consider what Aizen did, some heavy restrictions and conditions need to be placed there, and the helpers there are around, hey, let's use this chair to take you to the surface to have a breath of fresh air while they're talking how this deal is gonna work between them. I like how on Boz was like, yeah, I have to seal you right now, and gets close to Aizen, gets obliterated. Relax, dude. Even if he's sealed, he's still Aizen, because that seal doesn't seal his Reiatsu, his power, just makes it stick closer to him, so it kind of condenses it. So it's like, let me touch the nuclear reactor. It doesn't expand radiation around, we're all safe, but just let me touch the nuclear reactor, make sure. Why not? Aizen is still Aizen there, so we're gonna be getting Chair-sama pretty soon here. So overall, great episode build up for future things to come with Ukitake, great character development, Shunsui, and with Aizen, and something to keep in mind for the future with Yuha Bach not being able to foresee the Mimi Hagi there. So awesome episode. I saw the people complaining about the Aizen chin and the frame that we got, and have to say it again, as I said in my Jujutsu Kaisen video, fuck you with leaks. Stop it with leaks and stop complaining over one single frame. Holy shit, things are supposed to be seen in motion, and even if it's a bad frame, you're gonna leave, especially just because of a frame. But anyway, rant over. I'm really curious what you guys thought about the episode. What do you think right now about Ukitake after we got more of him and his life story, and are you excited for Chair-sama to come? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Bleach. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.